Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Jupiter's CROCK here on the Outpost Unknown YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us. We are almost done covering Gods of the Arena, the prequel series to Spartacus, Blood and Sand, but we got a couple episodes to go. This one, episode 5, entitled Reckoning Steve, or shall I say Ploticus. I'm here with Ronan as well, as usual every week. Ploticus, take it away.
So I'm still not sure that the last episode actually ended where you guys think it did.
1,000% sure it did.
There's a scene either at the end of episode 4 or the beginning of episode 5 where Bodiatus and Titus return. Titus loses his shit and says, fucking pitch Gaia's body off the cliff. We'll tell people that she got slipped, and then fucking clean the house, and then this is where Titus really starts going against Lucretia, and Titus, Bodiatus and Lucretia / Xena try to blame Titus as you were trying to remain friendly with Tullius, and this is what we got. You gave away our place in the first games, and so we had to continue scheming to get it back. And Titus is like, "Nope, you fucked up. I take no responsibility with this." Anyways. Regardless of where that scene happened in what episode, the next thing you see is Melita and Gannicus finding each other in the wine cellar.
Yeah, that's the beginning of this episode.
Which means what I just said happened at the end of episode 4.
No, I don't think so.
I feel like you just admitted that I was right.
No, I would never do such a thing. Ever.
Alternative facts.
Anyways, Melita and Gannicus find each other in the wine cellar, and they finally they give in. They've been trying to talk each other out of their feelings, but it happens, and they start having sex, and then all of a sudden you see a blade come through Gannicus's throat, and Oenomaus is standing behind him, and so Oenomaus has killed Gannicus. And then he stabs Melita, and I don't know what you guys thought, but I was like, holy shit, I thought Gannicus was going to be in the rest of the series, but no, he's fucking dead at the beginning of episode 5.
Yeah, when I first watched this, I was like, this can't be real, right? Because we know that Gannicus doesn't show up in Blood and Sand, so everyone's technically fair game. And at first I wasn't thinking dream sequence, and I was just like, wow, that's ballsy.
See, I was hoping that we would not reveal it was a dream sequence to later on and just let people think Gannicus was dead. But Matt ruined it. Matt fucking killed the joke dead.
The scene only lasts 45 seconds. Come on.
I know. Anyways, Melita obviously continues to have strong feelings for Gannicus. Now she's at the point where she is dreaming about him, but then also dreaming about Oenomaus's vengeance. Titus has instructed Xena and Melita, Diona, and Navia to not only pitch Gaia's body off the cliff, but clean up the room that Gaia was staying in, fucking sprinkle salt and say prayers around the ludus. We want there to be no evidence that Gaia was ever here, and we want to make it so her fucking spirit suffers if she tries to linger around.
She's a Roman citizen.
I am sick of this fucking Roman citizen sitting around here couch surfing on my fucking house drinking my wine. I don't even want her spirit here. Pour the salt.
She's ghost fucking people while they come into the room.
It's not enough to clean the room she died in and throw out her possessions and throw her body off the cliff. Titus demands that they sprinkle salt around the ludus and then perform rituals to clean the ludus.
I love when he's coming up with the thing. What do you mean? Won't they see that that's wrong? She's on the rocks below. She's a wino. People will just expect that she got drunk and fell off. Wise Titus.
Which again, that kind of goes back to what I was saying a few episodes ago, where it's maybe Titus at some point had a dark heel turn before he turned face, because
maybe a prequel to the prequel.
Maybe he's pitched his fair share of winos off the cliff. We don't know.
I love it that Ludus is right there on that cliff, man. It's just like
Yeah. Anyways, so that is going on, and Lucretia like kind of makes a deal with Melita. Melita's like, hey, I know Gaia was real close to you, and you don't want this to happen. How about we just tell Titus that we did this salt ritual? And Gaia's like, or Xena's like, goes, thank you. At least I can lie about putting salt in my house.
Thank you very much, Domina. I mean, you've been blackmailing me into getting my husband to get the gladiators to go along with the pleasure night, and you're going to continue to blackmail me with that. But you're just such a stand-up gal. I'm not going to sprinkle the salts.
Yeah. So, anyways, Titus he's had enough of Lucretia. Like, he tells Badiatus that Lucretia has done nothing for you. Like, you married her against my will and my advice. She hasn't provided you with any children.
that's the big thing right there.
Yeah, that and she came from nothing. She was just like a nameless Roman. She had no money. Her name carried no weight. Like, you married beneath your station. And so Titus tells Badiatus, like, you will divorce Xena, or both you and Xena will leave the Ludus, and I will just run it myself. And so Badiatus is struggling with it. His relationship with Xena is suffering. But we'll come back to that. So let's talk about the gladiators. Barca or Crixus is trying to like kind of make amends with Barca. Like, Barca understands that Octus like died in like honorable combat in the arena, so he doesn't blame Crixus at all. But he's still he's still depressed, and Crixus is trying to like bring him back from it. And I don't know if it was in this episode or the last episode, but Crixus, like the gladiators are all like training and eating, and Barca is sitting alone in his room with leftover pigeons. And Crixus brings
the pigeons that Asher did not
Yes.
eat. He didn't eat them all. That's the good thing. He did not eat them
He
all.
left a few pigeons, and so Crixus goes back to Barca with some bread. And he's like, here's some food for your pigeons. And Crixus tells Barca essentially like, gives him like his backstory, and Crixus tells Barca, hey, I've had this shitty life where people have been fighting me and beating me and shitting on me, and the only thing that I want right now is on glory and honor and whatnot. Like, Octus is the first person I actually killed. Like, I promise you that he will not be forgotten. Basically, like look, we're brothers in gladiator school now. Like, can we please get past this? And
did we mention
the beginnings of
last episode? Crixus got the mark. I think we
I think we said it, and then that was when Zencastr died on us a couple episodes ago, and I don't know if we mentioned it again. But yes, after Crixus beat Octus in the arena, Crixus gets the mark, so he is actually a gladiator now. But he's trying to repair the relationship with Barca. Barca seems agreeable to it.
He's just trying to be a homie, just making things right.
Asher and Dagon are fighting, and Dagon is not going easy on Asher anymore. And Asher's like, what the hell happened? Like, why does my friend, who I hoard out to this Roman guy, not like me anymore?
God,
and the gladiators all call him on his bullshit. Dagon also reveals that he is starting to learn the language. Like,
that.
Yes. There's going to be the gladiators say something to Asher, and then Dagon like makes it clear that he understood at least part of that, and Asher's like,
he mistranslates it, because Asher intentionally translates something that wasn't said, and then Dagon's like, no, I actually heard what they said here. And then Asher's like, what?
It's like the tiny man's right.
Yes. And then
I like Dagon, by the way. I like this character at first just seemed kind of like asshole-ish, but I love over just a few episodes. I'm like, God, I really love this gladiator. I don't want anything bad to happen to this guy, but he's not in the next season. So
this is like one of the few like actual humorous parts of this prequel series, because like Dagon will be talking. Dagon will talk to someone, and you'll see the subtitles, and Dagon is telling Crixus, "I will fuck your corpse," and Asher's like, "He looks forward to welcoming you into the Brotherhood."
so funny. I love it.
But the scene ends like when Asher really knows he fucked up is when Dagon indicates that he's starting to learn the language, and then he says something to Asher in Syrian, but then he concludes it with the word friend,
Friend.
and so Asher knows, oh shit. This is going to become real important later on because Titus is like, yeah, I'm here, I am in charge of the Ludus, I am going to get shit back in order, and I'm going to do that with or without Badiatus. And so Titus tells Onomaus to set up a tournament, and like the winners of the tournament will get to remain in the gladiator school. The losers of the tournament, or whoever has the most losses, I don't know how they're ranking them. They will be sold to the mines, and the ultimate winner is the person that I will consider champion of the house. And so various gladiators fight. We get like this extended montage of their battles, and there's two big fights that actually, are super like relevant to the rest of the series. One is Dagon versus Asher, and at this point, Asher has lost every single fight he's been in, so he knows like if I lose this again, I am 100% going to the mines. And he kind of tries to talk Dagon into going easy on him. I don't know that he outright says, throw the match for me so much as you just at least don't make me look stupid out there so I have a chance. But Dagon kicks his ass, and Asher's like, you've won the fight. At least let me like, stand on my feet like a man. And when he does that, Dagon, it's like, all right, fine. Like my last act as your friend, I will let you get back to your feet. Asher cheap shots him and stabs him in the eye with a wooden sword. So now, like, Dagon has lost his right eye.
I would
So
never do this to you guys. If you're
thank
in
you,
this situation, I
thank
would never
you.
do that.
I was
Uh,
always worried about you, Matt, but
yeah,
it's nice to know.
so I guess Asher is considered the winner.
Yeah, and
Uh,
Asher just gets up all like, yeah, I'm the mighty Asher.
yeah,
Like,
Mighty, yeah, sure.
and
Fuck, this is what happens to my enemies.
every gladiator there sees what he did.
yeah.
It's like, what? This guy is delusional,
Like
man.
Asher is like this incredibly manipulative person when he's dealing with Romans. He absolutely does not know how to read the room when he's dealing with gladiators.
Yes. But he so wants to be a gladiator. He so
Yeah,
wants that glory, but that's not his lot in life.
yeah. So the other fight of note is the final match, and it's going to be Gannicus versus Crixus. But originally, there comes a point. Watching all these back to back to back is messing with the flow of events here. But um, is it Gannicus is at one point not going to fight at all because Tullius has decided I am going to go ahead and honor the contract. Or sorry, Titus says I'm going to go ahead and honor the contract with with Tullius, and so I'm just going to hand Gannicus over. But Onomaus tells him, I agree with Badiatus on this. Like Gannicus is actually a damn good gladiator. You should give him a chance. And so um, Titus says, fine. The final match is Crixus versus Gannicus. They both have the same number of wins. So the winner will be champion of the House of Badiatus. And if Gannicus wins, he will be my champion. I will cancel the sell to Tullius and I will deal with the consequences. And so Crixus and Gannicus fight. They're I still feel like it's obvious that Gannicus can beat him if he was trying, but there
Yeah.
comes a point where, and Onomaus tells Gannicus this. Onomaus tells Gannicus, "Hey, if you lose this fight, you are leaving this ludus." And so towards the end of the fight, uh, Gannicus looks up and shares like another look with Melita, and he's just like, I can't fucking do this anymore. I can't do this.
Well, he sees her multiple times, right? Because she's standing up there through
Yeah,
the
she
whole
keeps looking
fight,
up at him.
and he
Uh,
keeps getting, distracted, shall we say?
yes, but the last time he's like, yeah, there's no like internal dialogue or anything here, but you can just tell like
Yeah.
he's done
He
with it.
drops his
He
guard.
can't do this anymore, so he drops his guard and lets Crixus beat him. And Crixus, to his credit, immediately realizes what happened. So Crixus is
Yeah.
not happy to be champion of House of Badiatus. He
He wants to
knows that
earn it.
Gannicus just gave up. Yes. Uh, so now things are in place for Gannicus to be sold to Tullius. Meanwhile, Titus had given Badiatus till the end of the contest to make his decision about Lucretia. Uh, It's like you can dissolve your marriage and stay here in the Ludus, or you and Xena can leave together.
There was a very
And
important scene that you missed a while before this, where they
well,
went to
I'm
the old
sorry,
arena.
Ploticus Jr. Fill in the gaps.
It's Interrupticus, all right.
Interrupticus.
So what, like, the big thing that Steve
It's my
missed
Roman name.
is Fuckicus.
I
All
want
right.
one. Oh,
But,
never mind. I would stab you in the eye, asshole kiss.
So the scene that this happens when the tournament is just about to start up, like, because Tullius comes in when the tournament is happening, and Titus actually, because he's like, okay, well, a Roman woman died in my house. I'm like, at this point, even I have a limit as to how far I'm willing to bend over for this guy. But Tullius is like, well, yeah, okay, I might have fucked up by killing somebody in your house, but hey, I mean, here's what's gonna happen. If if you just give me what I've always wanted, Gannicus, I'm just gonna forget all of this happened. I'll give you guys good seats in the openings of the new games, like of the new arena, because in the last matches of the old arena, House of Body Odds didn't have any matches. I was like, so give me Gannicus, and I'll forget all of this, and you guys can go about to what you were always doing. And Titus does not realize that Gannicus is actually a stone cold badass. He just, like, cause he came in after Gannicus's mind got all fucked up by what happened in episode 2. So he,
See,
like,
I didn't forget about that. I was gonna wait to talk about it when I got to the point of dealing with the poison wine.
I think you
When-
forgot about it.
When which was it? Last episode or this episode where Titus and Batiatus go to the old
That's
arena?
this one. This one. I was just about to go to that because when Gannicus when Crixus beats Gannicus, that Batiatus and Lucy Lawless, they were about to leave. That was them telling, oh yeah, we're ready to leave, because I'm not breaking up, I'm not dissolving my marriage. Because he tells them that when they go to the old arena, Lucretia kind of hinted, like, yeah, you need to kill this fucker.
And this is the great thing about this, because this episode shows that Batiatus and Lucretia, they love each other unconditionally,
100%.
and Batiatus is willing to give up everything. There's that moment when he's with her where he's like, we're gonna have to leave, we got no job opportunities, we got nothing, we're gonna basically be on the streets, but I would rather be on the streets with nothing. I would rather give up my dream to be with you than this. And it's like, that's the power couple, right? That's the power couple we love to hate that goes through the next season. It's like, I get it now. I totally understand it. And it makes you like Batiatus more, right?
It does.
It makes you love Batiatus more, and it's disturbing on many levels to me.
Yeah, I mean, all of the villains in the show, this is an outside glance. All the villains of the show, for the most part, they all have some relatable aspect that can make you like them. There's a reason why I say Asher is among my favorite characters.
Not that Cometodius or whatever his name was. Not that guy.
No.
Disagree. Vedius, Tullius, and Casudius.
The main
there's
characters.
Nothing redeemable about anything. Anyways, I wanted to cover the tournament first. The tournament's done, but now so other things that happened during the tournament, like Ronan said, Tullius shows up and Titus calls him out on killing Gaia. Tullius wants to make peace. And also get Gannicus, and he brings a jug of like fancy honeyed wine to Titus. So we also see, like we've said, Batiatus and Xena start scheming against Titus. Batiatus has the chance to kill his dad, but he chooses not to. He says
because he loves his dad.
Yeah, he does.
That's the other thing too. It's like, these people are family. Even though Batiatus and his dad are fighting all the time, you can't just kill your dad. I mean, that's like, was it patricide? Is that killing your dad? That's a big no-no in ancient Roman society. That's like a big, major no-no.
Batiatus was thinking of it. He has like a chunk of the old arena in his hand, like a club, and he's about to do the deed, but then Titus like starts saying nice things about Batiatus, and so Batiatus is like, God damn it. And so he just walks over and like hands him the club. He's like, here, a memento.
I can't beat you over the head. Although I will say that heading back to Lucy Lawless in that bathtub. Not a bad consolation prize.
Yeah.
It's the last time you're ever going to be in that nice
I would walk
bathtub.
out on my family for Lucy Lawless, 100%.
As we said, a fine wine. An aged
Anyways,
fine wine.
So, Tullius has been there. We talked about Badiatus and Dad in the old arena. We've talked about Badiatus and Xena, their decision to leave the Ludus and stay together. The next thing that happens is Tullius starts getting sick. It's like right after the end of the games, or the end of the tournament, and Badiatus and Xena are just about to leave and just disappear into the night together. Tullius starts getting incredibly sick.
Titus.
And sorry, I did too many fucking names. Titus starts getting incredibly sick. He is confined to bed. Baudius, Onomaus, and the Medicus, Jesus Christ, they decide that, all right, we're gonna.
Was that his name? Was he born and his parents were like, I dub it the Medicus?
Well, they call him the Medicus, so I assume that's a title.
Medicus is the title for middle.
So the three of them go out into the night to find medicine, to get the herbs required to save Titus.
I love it when it's like, it's too late at night. The Walgreens ain't open. We're going to have to go search the city to procure the herbs.
There are no 24-hour drugstores in Capua. So this leaves Xena and Melita to take care of Titus. And Melita says, hey, I know this is a bad time, but my friend Gannicus is going to be leaving tomorrow. I would like to go have final words for him. And Titus is given a cup of Tullius's wine. He drinks it, and then the rest of the wine goes with Melita down to Gannicus. And so Melita and Gannicus, for real this time, start actually having sex. They give in to their feelings for one another. Meanwhile, back up in Titus's room, Titus is like, Xena, like, you're taking care of me even though I treat you like shit. Like, I see how much Badiatus actually loves you. Just tell me that I've been wrong about how bad you are. And she's like, oh, you're wrong, because I'm way fucking worse.
That's a great moment. Great fucking moment.
She's like, I have been poisoning your wine. She confesses to the crime. Like, I have been poisoning your wine the entire time you've been here, not to kill you, just to make your like cough and overall health worse, to get you out of here.
But wait, she admits to doing it the first time.
She's the reason why he has the cough.
Yes,
never had it.
Back in episode 3, she offers wine to Titus and then tells Badiatus, "Do not drink any of this." She makes up a plausible excuse, like it just doesn't sit well with you at this time of day, or wherever the hell it was. But that's the foreshadowing.
Well, what I love about this,
Titus, and does not let her husband have any.
What I love about this, though, is through this whole prequel series, it's sort of set up that, like, well, Lucretia is not a horrible, evil person. It's Gaia that eventually turns her sort of evil and stuff like that. But Lucretia admits here, like, no. Remember many years back when you had originally had to leave this Ludus, Titus? I fucking was poisoning you back then. Now I restarted when you came back because I hate you and I hate how you screw with my husband. But I was fucking poisoning you back then, and it shows. Like, no, she's been kind of evil the entire time.
Just a smidge of evil.
Kind of evil.
Just a little. I mean, like, the objective was, as she admits, the objective was never to kill him. She was never out to kill him. She just wanted him to leave.
Because she knows how much that would hurt Badiatus if his dad were to die.
She was trying to keep Titus sick, not kill him. But now that Titus is trying to kill their marriage or force them to leave, now she's like, well, I have to have a permanent solution. So she pours like actual I will kill you poison into Tullius's wine, and then Titus drinks
the most dangerous of all poison.
Titus dies.
That's what's on the label. I will kill you poison.
I will kill you poison. So Titus dies. However, what Xena didn't think about was Melita took the wine down with her down to see Gannicus. And so Melita drinks some of the wine, and Gannicus says, "No, thank you." So Gannicus is on the verge of death, but he says, "I don't like honeyed wine."
Yeah,
he doesn't want honeyed wine.
He wants the bitter taste
so
of the
Melita
wine.
Melita starts dying in the middle of sex and dies. So Titus comes, or sorry, not Titus is dead. Badiatus comes back, sees what's happened. They're like, oh, Gannicus, you give me Melita's body. You absolutely cannot tell Onomaus that she was with you when she died. That's pretty much the end of the episode. The only other thing of note here, and this is not a big plot point for the prequel series, but it becomes a major plot point season 1. Lucy Lawless is very hurt by the accusations that she can't give Badiatus, she can't give him a kid at all, apparently, but she specifically hasn't given him a son. So she begins having sex with Crixus, and he gets a haircut because of her.
But that happened in the previous episode, right? Like the
Did
first
it
time it happened in
again?
the previous episode.
Again, like we're watching these back to back to back to back to back, so it's becoming a blur. If we haven't talked about it yet, Crixus and Xena are now banging.
Yeah, because the episode before she does it, but she's like kind of grossed out by it because she's like, "Oh, you're a slave. Don't look at me." Blah 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 blah. And in this one, she's like, "Well, if I'm going to have to do this, we're going to clean you up a little bit. We're going to make you look like in Blood and Sand, and not like a wild animal." I think is what she
There's
calls
a reoccurring thing in Rome. Apparently,
I think
it's like
I think you two are confused about what episodes these segments are happening in.
No, I'm pretty sure that like her having sex with him is in this episode because it happens a little like just after the point where it's like she's like Badiatus kind of blows up and says, "You never gave me a son."
She
and then
does it
realizes
twice, though. She
No,
doesn't
she
because
I think
Crixus
she does
says
it in the
I did
last episode.
she does it in the previous episode because
No, she does it in this episode.
No, well, they do it twice.
Matt, who
They
was
do it in the
Spartacus?
first episode.
Who was Spartacus
They
here?
do it in the first episode because she's like, just get it over with and don't look at me.
Hang on,
This
I
episode,
am going to pull up the
in this
Spartacus wiki.
episode, Crixus tells her, "Well, I didn't think I pleased you that first time," and then she's like, "Okay," and they do it again.
But he doesn't get the haircut until the last episode.
Yeah, doubt. Matt is wrong. All right, so I'm
Whatever.
on the Spartacus wiki.
Whatever.
Okay.
I will never admit to defeat here.
According to the wiki, this episode is the one where Lucretia asks Crixus, how many sons did your dad have and how many sons did your grandpa have? They do that the first time they fuck. That happens in this episode. Therefore,
okay, so maybe I got this one wrong.
Oh, now hang on. I have another question. Let me go back to the previous episode.
So thanks everyone for listening to this episode of Jupiter's.
Shut up. Yeah, according to the wiki, the opening of this episode is the dream sequence and Gaia's and Titus saying pitch her body off the cliff. It was in last episode. I was correct. Fuck you both.
Whatever.
Alternative facts.
So what do we think of this episode? Ronan, we'll start with you first.
Well, like this, this is another banger episode. There aren't any bad episodes of God of the Arena. There's none. They're all great, and this is another good one because now the stage is finally set. Because while Lucy Lawless was also telling Titus about how I've been poisoning you, she also says I decided to kill you not even necessarily just to get rid of you because I want Badiatus to take vengeance for Gaia. She did this shit for Gaia. That's the reason why. So now everything is primed and set for the last episode.
Because they're gonna blame Tullius for the honeyed wine. That's how it's all gonna come to play.
Diona escapes. I think that's the last big plot point.
Oh yeah.
We forgot poor Diona. Navia helps her escape. That's the thing. Navia takes a bunch of coins when they're tossing out all of Gaia's belongings, which Gaia apparently was dirt poor, and yet she had a bag of coins, and they were able to give that to Diona, who then was like, "Oh, thank you. I'll see you again," and she does. The next episode, we'll get to it. For me personally, this is one of my. I think this is my favorite episode of Gods of the Arena for sure. I think this is where everything just comes together perfectly in this. I love the reveal of Lucy Lawless just being very manipulative and sort of evil. I love the fact that all the stuff with the gladiators, like, okay, this makes sense now as to why Xena's banging Crixus in Blood and Sand, and there's a reason for it. It's not just, oh hey, I'm cheating on my husband with a gladiator because I think it's fun. There's an actual reason behind it, because she can't have a kid. And even Badiatus yells at her. He's like, you haven't given me a son. You haven't given me any kid at all.
Well, it seems like the problem would be like whose fault is it? Because
We don't know.
Xena thinks the problem is me. I haven't given Badiatus a kid. Which I mean, if it was her, fucking someone else wouldn't help. But maybe they just didn't understand that back in
Yeah,
ancient
yeah. I
Rome.
don't think they knew, right? I think it was always assumed in society that it's the woman's fault, right? It's the woman who can't do it.
As you do, the good old days.
Oh.
Jesus.
Good
But for all
Ronicus in with the win there.
For all we know, maybe Badiatus has Hank Hill's narrow urethra, and maybe that's part of the
Yeah.
reason why.
It'd be interesting. Has he impregnated any of the slaves that he routinely has sex with? I mean,
I bring this up because there is a 5-year time jump between Gods of the Arena and Spartacus Episode 1, and there's still no kid.
Well,
Yeah, that's probably unless Crixus 2 also has the narrow urethra.
Everyone in this show is shooting blanks.
So yeah, I mean, I love this episode. It's probably my favorite of this Gods of the Arena. How about
Absolutely.
you, Steve?
Fantastic. I mean, there's not a bad episode in this series. In the prequel series. Let me put that disclaimer on here.
I'm actually really interested now that we're kind of watching these in chronological order, sort of back to back. I'm actually interested to see if I will have the same reaction to the first 3 episodes of Blood and Sand that I've had in the past, because I don't think I've actually just watched them chronologically all the way through before. I've rewatched multiple seasons, but not chronologically. So, I mean, we're praising Gods of the Arena for enhancing and making Blood and Sand sort of better by, more plot and stuff that makes the stuff that we saw in Blood and Sand. Oh, okay, yeah, that just makes it better. Very similar to how Andor makes the original trilogy better. So I'm curious if the first 3 episodes, if I'll like them a lot more. But we're going to get there very, very soon in a couple episodes. So with that, everybody, thanks for listening to this. We'll be back next Thursday with the finale, the grand finale of Gods of the Arena, the bitter end. We're going to see how it all shakes out. What happens to Gannicus? What happens to our players here? How are they going to get out of this Tullius situation? Stay tuned next week. Leave a comment. Tell us what you think of this series.
Or don't.
Or don't. That's fine.